Welcome in, everybody. This is episode 54 of the Sports Desk. I'm your host, Splash. As always, we are joined with Jack. I got the direction right because of the obviousness here. I'm in a very weird location. Yeah, I am. It's a very weird location in my room because I'm right in front of the door. So if
someone just walked in on you.
Right now,
yeah.
Well, it's locked right now, and my roommate. Thank you, Tim. But so we're vibing, and I totally forgot to push this out. So we are streaming to nobody right now. So I'm working on it. Let me find. All right. Okay. We are vibing. Let's go. How's it going, Jack?
I can't complain. Yesterday was a very enjoyable. We got the Victory Tuesday going. My Division Champs merch showed up shortly after we won the wild card game, so that was always fun.
Nice.
I don't usually get Division Champs merch. I'm gonna probably wait until what happens with the Rams this year. I again, there's a lot still left to go. Have to get out of the divisional rounds. Have to get to the NFC Championship, and of course the Super Bowl. So I could be buying another shirt this year. I could not. We'll see.
Would be nice. I bought a Ravens AFC North hat after we won in 2018. Very bad impulse buy, and we got decked by the Chargers the next Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, that's what I was terrified of. Was like, I just impulse bought this because I want something from this year with how wild the division was, and we could have just easily gotten our butts kicked by the Cardinals, and then the 49ers are still alive, and people are talking about them like they might have a chance because they're Aaron Rodgers' kryptonite. So we'll see, but
we will see, and we will likely preview those games later in the show. But
by the way, one quick little criticism of this merch, and it's that it's criticism because there's no year on it. I guess it's not. It's not criticism, but it's more like just a shot at the NFL because why would you not make different shirts for every year and keep making people spend more money?
That's a great point. That's
I could just wear this next year if we win the division. So
you're right, and there's I guess there is some value in that. You have some value in having evergreen stuff. Exactly. So I don't know, it's fun. It's fine. I don't remember. I think mine has a 2018 on it. I have a Super Bowl. I hate curved bill hats, as you can see. So I have it was a Super Bowl 47 championship hat with a curved bill. Thank you, Nana. Go Ravens, but I hate wearing the hat because I think it looks tacky. But go Ravens.
And we have differing opinions.
57 potentially. Well, you're a lame-o and curved bill hats, so that is your problem, not my problem. I have infinite swag when it comes to wearing hats, so bow down, everybody.
We'll agree to disagree, I guess.
Agree to disagree. Hey, if we did a tier list, curved bill hats go on F tier, flat bill S plus, above where we would have ranked the Saints Color Rush.
S plus are usually the adjustable ones. As long as it's adjustable, it's usually not a problem. So
that's fair. That's fair. So this isn't chronological, but I just sent out a push, right?
Mm-hmm.
For our promo. So I'm going to jump to the second game of the weekend rather than the first game because I don't know if this is a hot take, but Josh Allen just had the greatest quarterback performance in the history of the NFL playoffs. There is no superior game. You go back. 2010s, 2000s, 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s, back into the ye olden days of NFL football. There is no performance better than what Josh Allen did Saturday night. And there are a lot of ways to break it down. Here's a simple one. They had a perfect offensive performance. Perfect. 7 drives, 7 touchdowns. That has never happened in the history of the NFL.
Not only 7 drives, 7 touchdowns, no turnovers, no punts, no field goals. It was all tutties every time they touched the ball.
Yes.
Every time.
And it wasn't even the Tom Brady special of, interception, you get the ball in the 20. These were long drives. These were drives against a top-tier Patriots Bill Belichick defense. The 8-time Super Bowl champion Bill Belichick, 2 of the Giants.
I literally was saying like it was hard to like when we were talking about like the how the seedings were going to shake out in the AFC because we didn't know whether Pittsburgh was going to make it or not. I was
Boo, by the
saying,
way.
yeah, I was saying nobody wanted to play Bill Belichick in the playoffs,
No.
and only one guy apparently did, and that was Josh Allen. And oh my god, that was ridiculous.
So I just got a comment on that push, and Joey Heisman, the Giants fan, said, "You spelled Joe Burrow wrong." All right, square up. Joe Burrow has 1 playoff win. Josh Allen has 3. Josh Allen just had the greatest playoff performance in NFL history. He had a 98.5 QBR as judged by ESPN. That is the highest ever in the playoffs. The second highest, I believe, was Tom Brady at the 07 divisional round against the Jags, I believe. Yeah. The Allen had 5 touchdowns, over 300 passing yards, tacked on 60 rushing yards. And again, perfect offensive performance from the Bills. No turnovers, no punts, no field goals. It was as good as it gets. And I think it's time. Move over Patrick Mahomes, move over Aaron Rodgers. I think Josh Allen is officially QB1 in the NFL.
It's probably around that time. I mean, we still, for all we know,
here's my I don't, again, hot take. The Bills are going to walk into Arrowhead this I believe they play Sunday. The Bills are going to walk into Arrowhead Sunday, win the de facto AFC title game, turn around, fly back to Orchard Park the Sunday after that, beat the Bengals. Bengals are going to upset the Titans, by the way. Turn around. Josh Allen's not going to the Pro Bowl. Pro Bowl doesn't matter. Well, he wasn't a Pro Bowler this year anyways, somehow. I don't know how, but actually I do know how, because idiots voted for Lamar Jackson. He doesn't have to worry about the Pro Bowl because the Bills are going to the Super Bowl. And guess what? They are going to beat not your Rams, not the
really
Bucs.
now.
They're going to beat the Packers. The Buffalo Bills will win the Super Bowl, ladies and gentlemen.
That could be an interesting Super Bowl. The
Buffalo Bills will win the Super Bowl. Josh Allen will win Super Bowl MVP. I know that there's a narrative that Josh Allen is like the most up and down quarterback. He is, actually. If you go back and like his pass ratings are up. For the last year and a half, he doesn't have good back-to-back games. Until this streak, he is going to have a all-time playoff run. We are talking Joe Flacco, 2012, Joe Montana, 1988, Nick Foles, 2017, Eli Manning, 2011. We are talking an elite of the elite. My hot take, I can't really make this into a take, but my hot take is that Josh Allen will rattle off the greatest 4-game stretch in NFL playoff history, regardless of position. We're talking Terrell Davis right now. We are talking Larry Fitzgerald, 2008 Cardinals. Wish they'd won that Super Bowl. Josh Allen and the Bills will win the Super Bowl.
You're pretty high up on the Bills right now. And I mean, to be fair, you have a good excuse to do that. I mean, when have we ever seen somebody score 7 touchdowns on 7 possessions?
Never. Now, look, I know that's one game. I get it. I have been criticized for using one game as an example before, but hear me out. It's going to happen. It is going to happen. Allen is about to knock off Bill Belichick, then Patrick Mahomes, then Joe Burrow, then Aaron Rodgers, win Super Bowl MVP. And I don't know, he might mess around and end with 14, 15 passing touchdowns, which would blow Flacco out of the water, blow Joe Montana, Foles out of the water. Get ready to watch it. Get ready to say, when March 1st rolls around and you're having these quarterback debates that we're going to have all offseason on U Stadium, Josh Allen will be QB1. 100%. I guarantee it. Guarantee it.
We just need to see if he doesn't have the down first, because
there are no down. Well, I mean, technically he will have a down because I don't think they're going to score 7 touchdowns in 7 drives, but it is a relative down. It is not like a true down. It'll still be a better game than Mahomes. He's going to outplay Mahomes. He will have a higher PFF passing grade by at least 10 points. I'm going to actually, you know what? We were supposed to start with takes, but I'm just going to make this into a take right now.
We'll just use this as a segue. We should just use this as a segue in the hot takes.
You know, people ask me, well, hey, Splash, how do you make a take? Okay, there's a green button there at the bottom. If I hold it, there we go. Take, pop up. Okay, here we go. Josh Allen will have a PFF passing grade at least 10.0 points higher than Patrick Mahomes on Sunday? And I'm going to put 1,000 biggins on it. 1,000 points. You can see all my points there. That is a 1,000. And here we go. We're going to have it close Sunday at noon my time, maybe 10 my time. All right. Why didn't it save? There we go. Confirm take.
So
there we go.
There we go. And now I can pretty much hop in.
1,000 points, boys and girls. Josh Allen will have a PFF passing grade at least 10 points higher than Patrick Mahomes on Sunday. And I will go ahead and make a take. 500 points. Bills beat Packers in Super Bowl 56. We're going to close that Saturday at noon Eastern.
And hey, if you want to make some extra points on that one because you think that Green Bay is going to make it to the NFC Championship game, you can vote on my tank right here. I said tank, but I meant take. But there you go, Green Bay.
I don't know if I voted on that one. All right, God, Alex says we'll go right into the hot take-o-meter. Let me fire. Oh, I don't have it anymore. Darn. Okay. I will have to find that for our next episode. But today, I'm not going to worry about it. So, God Alex says Rodgers gets both monkeys off his back. He beats the Niners and wins the NFC title game the week after. I'm going to go ahead. Here it is. I'm going to go ahead and agree. No one has disagreed with it right now, but there we go. We have agreed. So, I'm rocking and rolling there.
I mean, I wouldn't say that there's like a monkey on his back anyway, because he does already have an NFC Championship win. But what he does have is a losing streak. He needs to break that losing streak.
This is true. He's also 0-3 against the Niners in the playoffs.
This is true.
Yes,
I mean, it's tough.
Yeah,
it's
Colin Kaepernick dropped his nuts on Green Bay, not once, but twice.
Jimmy Garoppolo, though, is not.
Also, Raheem Mostert. So,
yeah, that's true.
Does Garoppolo doesn't even Garoppolo attempted 8 passes the last time they played?
Yeah, they don't need to even. The thing is, they're not going to win with the passing game. They're going to win in the trenches. That's where they dominate. The 49ers dominate. So
if
you're going to have to. Go ahead.
We have one for tonight's game. Noah, one of our coworkers, says the Celtics will beat the Hornets tonight. 500 biggins on the line. I'm not huge in NBA betting. I think I will disagree with this one though. I want to take more of Noah's points.
Okay. If you'll just give me 1 second, I might be able to save the hot take-o-meter.
Oh, okay.
Click on
that was a great segue. Like I wasn't like I'm thinking, okay, what's like a clickbaity title? It's like, oh, hey, Josh Allen QB1. All right, let's go with it. You know,
boom.
He's about to go nuts. There we go. The hot take-o-meter. My Josh Allen take is going to be milk, by the way. Super Bowl MVP, Super Bowl champion Josh Allen. We will all be saying that within the next month. So get ready. Get ready, Jets fans. I know you hate me for it. Get ready, Dolphins fans, Patriots fans. The Bills will win the Super Bowl. Josh Allen, Super Bowl MVP.
That's going to be a fun game.
There we go.
That's going to be a very fun game.
All right, now we're going to go close to home. Frankie has a take. He says the Rams beat the Bucs.
Yes.
I actually agreed with this. I don't usually agree with Frankie's takes, but I agreed with this one.
I agree with his take that the Rams would win by at least 7 on Saturday on Monday. I thought that was going to happen because the Rams knew I feel like the Rams and the Cardinals rivalry has been very one-sided ever since Sean McVay came into the picture. Like, yeah, they beat us this year. That's only because the Rams got off their game plan. They had a couple uncharacteristic drops from Cooper Kupp. They had Sony Michel fumble, which almost never happens. So when things like that happen, game plans go wrong, and the Cardinals were just riding a really, really electric Kyler Murray in that game. So they got their win. They ended their streak. It's fine. And then you saw the way the Rams pretty much bullied them in that Monday night game on week 14. I would say the only time that game was really, the outcome of that game was really in question after the Rams took the lead was that lost onside kick that was a little bit of a heart attack, but even then the defense held strong. So
for sure.
And then the wild card game, which we'll probably talk a little bit about later. We did do a stream for that, but that was not close as what I'll say.
34-11, no scoregami, sadly. Actually, it was a replicate of a score earlier in the season, Lions and Bengals.
I can actually throw all the scores up right now.
Yeah, there you go. Bengals got a playoff win. The Bills trounced the Patriots. I hit my take. I said the Chiefs would not have the largest margin of victory in the wild card round, and I was correct. So bow down, everybody.
I'm still really impressed about your OBJ take. You said that his new team, after he got released, his new team, he would score a touchdown for in January.
I still haven't gotten points for that, by the way. Everyone else has, but I haven't, which is strange. All right. We are going to move on. Another take. Zach, one of our co-hosts, he says, both road teams win their AFC divisional games. That would be the Bengals at the Titans and the Bills at the Chiefs. I have already said I have the Bills over the Chiefs. What say you, Mr. Jack?
I'm going to disagree. I think the Chiefs are we'll see. This is going to be a really close game. I feel like I think the Chiefs might edge it out, but that's the only way the Chiefs are going to win this game is closely, because
they're not going to win this game. By the way.
Yeah, you think they're not going to win this game? I think the Bills are going to make it competitive regardless. If the Bills win,
it is a new time, old man. Old man being Patrick Mahomes. It is a new age.
The future is now, old man.
Yeah, the future is now. It is a new era. It's not at New Era Field anymore. It's at, I think, Highmark.
Highmark Stadium.
Yeah, Highmark. It's not a new era. It is a Highmark. Orchard Park will host the AFC title game, and the Bills will march to the Super Bowl for the first time since 1993. I think January 94, and they will win the Super Bowl. Just saying.
He's pretty big on that one. What's the other one again? Titans.
Bengals at Titans. What are we thinking?
Are they going to have Derrick Henry back for this one?
Yes, they should have Derrick Henry back. He was playing. He was practicing today. Reminder, these two teams played last season. Joe Burrow played. Derrick Henry played. The Bengals won. The entire AFC South, or the entire AFC North, ended up beating the Titans. The Ravens had to do it in the playoffs, but yeah.
I would say give me the Bengals in this one still.
Same.
I think it's the Titans.
I've actually made that same take.
The Titans are definitely going to make it competitive, but I don't think Derrick Henry is going to be playing at 100%. And they're going to want to, because when Derrick Henry's on, when he gets going, he's pretty much their whole offense.
Agree.
I don't think he's going to be at 100% though, because it's not just the fact that maybe he has had a whole week to work out or whatever. I don't even know if that's the case.
Okay, to be fair, that was a very clutch acquiring of the number one seed in the AFC, because I don't know if Henry played. If they were the 2 seed and the Chiefs had won the AFC, I don't know if he plays against Pittsburgh. Do you need him against Pittsburgh? Well, no. The Titans did lose to the Steelers earlier this season, so that is a fair point. But
here's the thing, though, is that
in Nashville, right? No, this was in Pittsburgh.
You also have this team. It was clutch. You say it was clutch, but at the same time, they almost blew a lead to the Texans to lose that game. This is
true. But you know who did blow a lead? I cannot believe the Colts lost to the Jags still.
Yeah, that was
what absurd. Absolute bums.
Absurd.
Absolute bums. Any other takes you want to go through?
Let me see. Noah says the NFC wins the Super Bowl. I'm going to agree with that one.
Ooh. All right. Who do you think should be the favorite in the NFC? Who should be the favorite? I know the Packers are the favorite. The Bucs are right behind.
I think the Packers are a fair estimate. I'm they're the one team
for the 49ers?
No, not really. All right. I mean, they're gonna be good, but I just feel like Green Bay has been on another level all year long.
Mm-hmm. They are 39-10 with Matt LaFleur as the head man.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
13-3, 13-3, 13-4. 1 seed.
You can literally count the amount of bad games from Aaron Rodgers on one hand.
Yeah, he stunk against the he stunk against the Bucs last year. He stunk against the Saints this year. He stunk against the Seahawks this year. So he's been awesome. He's about to win his 4th MVP. And the MVP curse will strike again as Josh Allen drops his nuts on the entire state of Wisconsin in the Super Bowl. I'm gonna have to like have a super cut of like imagine
It's
the
just
Bills
like a
lose
montage of everything that you say, and I'm just
like
gonna
if the
go
Bills
all.
the Bills aren't going to lose this weekend, but imagine if they did lose to the Chiefs, then I like have like a dope compilation of just me like, oh, Josh Allen is the next greatest quarterback in NFL history.
And he's not.
Yeah, he is.
Well, he could be.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah,
Potential's definitely up there, though. I'm not going to deny that.
Any more takes before we get into some ref ball?
Only one that I see left is mine that Green Bay is going to beat San Francisco, and
Agreed.
I already showed them enough. So I think that will just wrap us up for hot takes. So let me
go
get
Niners,
this.
though, but I agree.
Let me get this back to normal.
I will say that if the Rams and Niners play in the playoffs, I will be rooting for the 49ers, respectful. Actually, disrespectfully.
Yeah, it's disrespectful. The respectful thing is a complete joke. You don't care.
I would rather see 3-time Super Bowl champion Jimmy Garoppolo. How do you feel about that, potentially?
You mean the backup to Tom Brady?
No. Yeah, he has 2 Super Bowl rings. Your entire franchise has 1. Look, I'm not saying...
We have as many...
There's an ownership here. Jimmy Garoppolo owns your franchise.
Jimmy Garoppolo's rings came with the Patriots, but one of them did come against us. He has as many
Super Bowls as the entire NFC
West.
No,
he didn't. He was on the 49ers when the Patriots beat us.
Well, of course. Duh.
Yeah.
But he won Super Bowl. He was Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl 41 or 49, Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl 51.
Listen,
he wasn't on the Patriots.
Playoffs are a different breed. Playoffs are a different breed.
He has been to the Super Bowl. Has your bum quarterback been? No. Granted,
has he ever been?
Lions
He's been on the Lions his whole career.
Okay, but hey, Garoppolo played at Eastern Illinois. Like I don't even know where Illinois is, but although Tony Romo
somewhere,
did go there,
I could be completely wrong.
I think it's the east of the Illinois. I think it's somewhere in Saskatchewan, if I'm correct.
That's in Canada.
I obviously know. I've been to Illinois before. I went to a White Sox game.
Splash knows his geography.
Yeah, go Cavs. They're not. They don't play in Illinois, but they are going to beat the Bulls this week. So go Cavs.
Let me throw the current playoff bracket up there, and then we'll get into these games.
There we go. So top left, the Bengals, for the first time since January of 1991. For the first time since
what is that?
Text
34
messages,
years.
31 years.
31
years. First time since text messages were invented. For the first time since George H.W. Bush. Not even George W. Bush. George H.W. Bush was president the last time the Bengals won a playoff game. They beat the Oilers in the 1990 wild card round, January of 1991. They won a playoff game. They beat the Raiders. The Raiders actually haven't won a playoff game since the George W. Bush administration. They won the AFC Championship game in 2002, January 2003. So congratulations to the Bengals. Joe Burrow was awesome. Jamar Chase was awesome. There's a meme of when you're one-on-one with Jamar Chase and it's just Casey Hayward, timeout. Now, granted, there is no context to that meme because the Raiders had 12 men on the field, so it would have been a penalty. But the memes are funny nonetheless. The Smokin' Joe memes, the rose glasses, all the cockiness out of the Bengals, the Bayou Bengals, as Will called them just moments ago. So there we are. The Bengals are in the playoffs. The Bengals won a playoff game.
But
what do you mean, but? There is no but. The Bengals are obviously superior to every team.
They are, and I would have picked. I'm not surprised that they won the game. This is the result that we still should have gotten, but we need to talk about ref ball. Because
also shout out Max Crosby, 7 pressures, led the week, had a sack. So eat that, TJ Watt truthers. Max Crosby, 108 pressures on the season.
So let me clear up what happened here. We had Mr. Joe Burrow.
Joe Burr.
On the franchise. Run. Joey franchise, yes. On the run. He made a very fantastic throw just before he was about to step out of bounds to the end zone. But then he was under pressure. He was on the move. You hear that right before, not after he threw, or it was after he threw the ball, but before the catch. It was before the catch. And it's like, well, that's technically what is that? A dead ball whistle, whatever that's called.
Technically a dead ball, but the ball was in the air, so there is some goof. There's a goofiness there, and see the issue you have when debating this, because you could argue that Trevon Merrick stopped playing, but at the same time, you could argue that it didn't matter if he stopped playing because Tyler Boyd was screaming open in the back of the end zone. So I don't know, man. It's just goofy the way that works. That I get the rule and I understand the rule that they would have replayed the down. They would have replayed third down. This did happen on third down, by the way. So I get it, but at the same time, inadvertent whistles happen, and I feel like that was an inadvertent whistle. But then why are you blowing the whistle there? Even if he did step out of bounds, you can review that because you're going to review a touchdown play, right? You're going to review that later. So I think this is a case of just swallow your whistle and let the play out. You can review it afterwards. So this is, I think, either way, the Raiders would have gotten screwed or the Bengals would have gotten screwed. If you stop it or don't stop it, what I would have done 100% is not whistled anything.
I would, with how close his foot was to the border, I probably would have let that go. It's like, I honestly, when it happened too, like I didn't even think he was out. I thought his foot was barely in. I was, it was really close. And when it's close, sometimes the refs like to lean on their whistle. They like to just say, we might as well blow it. But it's one of those situations where you just got to let it play out.
Absolutely. So. Yeah, like I get it, but at the same time, just let it play out. Just let it happen. You know, you can always go back and change it. That it is so easy to go back and change. Well, it's not actually that easy.
Yeah.
But it is very straightforward to just go back and change it. So it's very, I don't know. I don't know what you're doing, dog. I'm at a loss. That the refs did have some good calls in other games. They had a nice fumble, like a no fumble call in Cardinals Rams that they got it right and they changed it. It was a perfect call. But ref ball is ref ball. I think the Bengals were the better team. They would have won either way.
Yeah, they would have won regardless, even though the Raiders did give them a bit of a challenge at the end.
And then Derek Carr threw a pick to Jermaine Pratt. So,
yeah. So that's how that one ended.
That is how the Bengals won their first playoff game in a generation. There were, I think, 3 Bengals that were alive the last time they won a playoff game. It was Michael Thomas, not that Michael Thomas, Kevin Huber, the punter, and then I believe like one random player on the defense.
Yeah. Pretty long time. Let's move on. What do we have next? We've got we
talked Bills.
We did talk Bills.
My entire lower half is currently asleep, so I'm in a lot of pain right now.
A couple games I think we can gloss over because they were probably games that didn't really need to happen. We had the Chiefs destroying the Steelers.
Speaking of pain, did you know that Travis Kelce had a higher PFF passing grade than Ben Roethlisberger?
You know who I think else did is OBJ.
You know who else did? Brian Anger. Yes, Odell did. Odell had like a 79.9 passing grade.
Yeah, he did.
Dope throw to Akers. Was it Akers? Yeah, it was Akers. Because I lost money on Michelle because he didn't have a target.
The other game that I guess we can gloss over is Tampa-Philly. I think the point we can get from those 2 games are Super Wild Card Weekend just needs to go back to Wild Card Weekend.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings because I understand what the NFL is trying to do. And I do think it was, if it's close, then, they should have more playoff teams. If it's a blowout, then, they should have fewer playoff teams. Like, look at baseball. Who won the World Series? The worst team in the playoffs. Bow down, peasants. You lost to an 88-73 team 11 times. Like the Dodgers were like the second coming of Jesus, won 100 some odd games. They didn't win the World Series. The Giants won even more games. They didn't win the World Series. But so like you have that. And then last year you had a competitive Colts-Bills game, but then you had a disaster that was the Nickelodeon broadcast with MVP Mitch Trubisky and Jimmy Graham. So I get the pushback that, there should only be 12 playoff teams, or there should be even fewer teams because neither 3-6 matchup was, San Francisco did win, but there were several dud playoff games this week. But how much of that is, we've had a 2-year sample size. We've had 3 bad games and 1 pretty good game. I get it, but if you're judging on sample size, then you're going to have some outlier results, especially in a super small sample size. Like, what if next year, I don't know, the Broncos are the 7th seed and they go up to Buffalo and they beat Buffalo? Josh Allen probably won't lose that game, but let's just say I've said before the Broncos are a good matchup for Buffalo because Buffalo doesn't care about stopping the run, very much like the Chargers. If a 7 seed beats a 2 seed, does that give credence to a 14-team playoff, or is that just a football is football? Like the Jets beat both the Titans and Bengals, right?
Yeah.
Like the
That
Jags
seems
beat
like
the
a football
Bills
is football
and
kind of
Colts.
thing, though.
Like the Saints beat the Packers.
It's so tough to call. Like the 49ers, they destroyed us in week 18, but what if there wasn't a 7 seed?
Heck, the
They probably
Saints
would be
beat
out.
the Packers and the Bucks twice. Ed probably would have beaten Tennessee if they had Jameis Winston and got creamed by Buffalo. I think when you try to draw conclusions for like playoffs and say, oh, well, if you have more teams, then yada, 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 you need a larger sample size. Like look at March Madness. Is expanding from 68 or 65 to 68 the right move? I think you can begin to draw conclusions now because you've had a decade of games. Or was expanding from 64 to 68 a good thing? Okay, you've had 2 decades of games to say, okay, this was pointless or this was a good idea, right? And I think you can have a reasonable conclusion that over in the 64 team era since 1985, there has not been a seed in the bottom half to win a national championship. So you can make a conclusion, which I don't know if it's the right conclusion, but you can make a conclusion and say, well, it's kind of pointless to have the 9 seeds and below, which you're not technically wrong, but I don't know how you judge that. And at the same time, how much of that is an outlier? If like a 9 seed, like UConn won the title in 2014 as a 7 seed, go Huskies. If they were a 9 seed and had won the title, does that invalidate years and years of data? No, it's just really an outlier. Or like Boston College made the Final Four as a 9 seed. Wichita State made it as an 11, or as a 9 as well. VCU made it as an 11. Syracuse made it as a 10. LSU made it as an 11. Loyola made it as an 11. Friggin' George Mason made it as an 11. So like you have these upsets in sports, but how much of that is an outlier or how much of that is them screwing up the seeding? And in the NFL playoffs, let me give you a hypothetical. Let's say the Ravens get the 7 seed.
Let me actually remove this. Give your hypothetical.
Okay. So if the Ravens get the 7 seed, let's say the Ravens get the 7 seed, Lamar is healthy, Dobbins gets on his Cam Akers and comes back. Marcus Peters, same thing. J.K. Dobbins, same thing. And they're all back. Are the Ravens really a 7 seed, or are they just like a 7 seed record, but like much better?
I mean, you could ask the same question with the 49ers right now. I think that's a fair assumption because I think a lot of people are saying that they're better than a 7 seed, but they have a 7 seed
they're
record.
Better than a 6 seed. Right?
6
They
seed,
just
sorry,
happen to play. Well, I guess they own you, but they happen to play in a division with the Seahawks, who own them, and the Cardinals, who apparently own them.
We own them pre-2019. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird how the dynamic that the Seahawks like never lose to the Niners, and then you guys never beat the Niners, and then
we never beat we always beat the Seahawks. Or no, that's back and forth. I think that one's more back and forth, but we always beat the Cardinals. And then we always lose to the Niners. The Niners always lose to the Seahawks. Seahawks, Cardinals, a little more back and forth. This is why we like the NFC West.
The NFC West is like just strange. But to me, the conversation about expanding or not expanding the playoffs can't be based on the results of the season because sports are sports, right? There is always, if you had a 32-team playoff, there's going to be some year that the Jaguars knock off the Packers. Not going to happen every year. Not going to, maybe, I don't know, once every 20 years. maybe.
It could happen in the World Cup style bracket that we're gonna do in Madden later this year.
Oh,
So
I'm so excited to do that. I
I'm hyped for
cannot wait
that.
to do that.
Yeah,
And we're gonna
it's
have to
gonna be
figure
really
out if
fun.
we could do an all-time team one. We could do like one with like
That
21
would be fun.
rosters and one with like all-time rosters. It'd be
Hey, we
fun
have
to
the whole
see.
off season, so
Yeah, we do. Like it would be if you're okay, let me give you a question before we move on. If you're doing one for the Rams, right? Are you taking the best version of a player with the Rams? Or let's say if you do
or the
Odell.
best version all time.
Yeah. If you're doing Odell on the Rams, are you taking 2014 Odell or are you taking like 2021 Odell? I'm not saying you would choose Odell because you have our Lord and Savior Torrey Holt, you have Hall of Famer Isaac Bruce.
Please get Torrey Holt to the Hall of Fame.
Torrey Holt should be in the Hall of Fame.
I mean, that's a tough call. Odell specifically, there's like not the sample size isn't like gigantic.
Yeah. Or would you take like the Cardinals version of Aeneas Williams? Like, would you just have two Aeneas Williams, like one on the Cardinals, one on the Rams, or even like say the Ravens with Deion Sanders?
It's very franchise dependent too, I think.
Yeah. Like, or if you're the Bucks,
I think if we're assembling,
Bucks would take Brady.
If we're assembling like an all-time greatest tournament, I feel like it would make the most sense to put the best player on the team that they made their name with.
Okay,
but then so again,
would Ramsey be a Jag or a Ram?
I'd put him on the Rams.
Because I mean, there's an argument that he should be on the Jags, and
I think there's a decent argument, but I don't think anybody really talked about him as CB1 until he was on the Rams.
I don't know. He was an All-Pro in 17.
He was. He had the AFC title game too. I don't know though,
because I think like if you're talking like come to prominence, it was be as a Jag, and if you're, I think he's like their all-time cornerback one. There's an argument that Aeneas Williams is your all-time cornerback one, but at the same time,
tough call.
At the same time, he would be Arizona / Phoenix / St. Louis / Chicago's CB1 too. So I don't know.
I guess it varies by player then too.
Yeah, because even like Tom Brady would be the quarterback for both the Patriots and Bucks, as odd as that seems.
That would be very like he's spent 2 years now on the Bucks.
And he's already their greatest ever quarterback. I don't know where he is like on their passing yards, passing touchdowns, but I would imagine he's pretty high.
He's going to be very high.
Like
soon.
Like Marshall Faulk would be fun. Well, obviously the Rams, but then he would be fun as a Colt too.
Yeah.
Or Torrey Holt would be fun on the Jags. If you go Ravens, you can have Rod Woodson, who was a Pro Bowler here. He was an All-Pro with Oakland. He was an All-Pro legend with Pittsburgh. Won a Super Bowl with us. Bow down, peasants. Dion, Dallas and San Francisco. You have Kevin Green, Panthers legend and Steelers legend. Reggie White was an Eagles legend and Packers legend. So if we did like an all-time team, would you have duplicate players, or would you just have like limit? Would you have like one Jalen Ramsey, or would you have Jalen Ramsey, like say 2017 Jalen Ramsey and 2021 Jalen Ramsey?
See, I don't know. I would want to do both, or I would want to do like duplicate players, but it would be really weird if like we actually did do the tournament and then it's like Bucks versus Patriots in the finale. Both teams have Tom Brady. Like
that'd be fun though.
That would be fun.
Actually, it's the funniest part is they would have the same quarterback and the same tight end.
Oh goodness, because so
it'd be like a Patriots Brady to Patriots Gronk, and then like the answer is like Patriot or a Bucks Brady to Bucks.
You know what? We're gonna actually remove Bucks Gronk from this equation because Gronk was awesome until he constantly tried to get USAA. Those commercials are frustrating.
Oh my goodness. How many teams do you think Brady wins the Super Bowl with last year if he just is plopped on instead of their current quarterback?
I think you get the biased answer is the Rams. I think if anybody was better than Jared Goff last year.
That's fair.
And with the defense they had too.
I think
it's a tough call regardless though.
Because I think
Tampa
taking him off the Bucks, like then like the Packers would win the NFC, and I think the Packers could beat the Chiefs.
Tampa literally built their roster around Tom Brady too.
Mm-hmm.
You had guys start they had so many huge names come in. I mean, obviously Antonio Brown's not there anymore, but he was one of them.
He came in because of Brady. Gronk came in because of Brady. Fournette came in because of Brady. like you had a lot of guys that came in just because of Brady, and that's 3 offensive guys, of course. Then you have like everyone came back, I think in large part because of Brady. If you had a different quarterback, because that's the only time in NFL history I believe in NFL history that all 22 starters from a Super Bowl came back the next year. So is that Brady or is that Bucks? I don't know. I don't know how to delineate between the two, and I think that's a fun conversation for the offseason.
It is.
So that's it. We went way off on a tangent there.
We're hyped for doing Madden tournaments.
By the way, the Ravens would secretly have like the best team ever if you count like Deion Sanders as a Raven and you count Rod Woodson as a Raven, because they did play as the Raven or on the Ravens.
Do we put Brett Favre on the Vikings?
I would say no. I think with that conversation, you have to see, like, say Jalen Ramsey is the best cornerback in Jags history, and I think he has done enough as a Rams corner to say like he is would be on the all-time team. I think it's a little bit different with Favre because you have Tarkenton, you have Culpepper, you have Randall Cunningham, who probably should have won 98 MVP. But you have some great quarterbacks in there, and Favre had the one awesome year in 2009 and a pretty solid 2010 season, but he wasn't actually very good in 2010. But I think like Tarkenton would overrule him there. It's almost like, say, Rivers on the Colts.
Yeah.
You're not going to choose him over Unitas or Peyton or even Luck.
I would probably take Peyton on. Well, then Peyton could be on the Broncos. This is a fun conversation.
Okay, Peyton
time.
was 100% on the Broncos. I don't care that John Elway won 2 Super Bowls. He was a bum in one of them. And yeah, Peyton was.
He retired superior. On top. I think that's the one thing that Peyton has over a lot of these quarterbacks is that he retired with the Super Bowl.
But to be fair, he sucked in that Super Bowl.
He did suck, but he still has it.
I think that's the lowest QBR by a winning quarterback in the playoffs, 8.6.
That's funny to think about.
I'm sure we could have like a huge list of guys that make it with 2 teams. Like Rod Woodson probably makes it with 2 teams, because I think he makes the Ravens team even. He makes the Ravens team. He's not starting over Ed Reed. Ooh.
Fun discussions.
No, Rod Woodson at free safety, Ed Reed at strong safety. The Ravens are winning the Super Bowl. Even right. I honestly like even like present day Rod Woodson, even though he's in his 50s, and present day Ed Reed are probably better than Deshaun Elliott and Chuck.
I'm gonna have to rely on the community to make all these players in Madden, but oh boy, actually they might have all-time teams in there. I don't know.
I don't think so.
We'll see.
There's something with the NFLPA, I think.
Yeah. Anywho, what should we do?
Aaron Donald, you wouldn't have to create him.
Do not need to create Aaron Donald. He trains with knives.
Yes. We are off the rails here.
We are. That was a fun game, though. I enjoyed that. I mean, I guess generally it could have been a better game.
Mm-hmm.
To the outsider. You were expecting another like crazy back and forth rivalry.
That was such a boring game. Like I just stopped trolling you after like 10 minutes.
You were like all in on trolling me at the start of that.
And then
stream.
the Rams, like,
and then like 10
I
minutes
expected the Rams to win, but like that was such a buzzkill that it was just a bad playoff game.
Yeah,
if we weren't live, I probably would have gone to sleep at halftime.
Yeah, I probably would have.
That was a joke. I desperately wish that was a joke, but it's not.
If I was not a Rams fan, I probably would have stopped caring. I stopped caring about the Chiefs game. I stopped caring about the Bucks game.
Mm-hmm.
But
one game that I believe both of us cared about the entire time, Niners Cowboys.
You know why I cared about that game is because I
wanted to see the Niners lose.
That, and I wanted to watch the Nickelodeon broadcast for once.
Okay, that's probably a better reason.
Yeah, that was honestly a good game though. That was honestly a
stellar game. Stellar game. Shanahan tried to blow it. The Cowboys blamed the refs. Dak slid down and was generally a bum. Like unreal. Just like an absolutely tremendous sequence.
Defensive showdown, I would call it.
Yeah, that was and Trent Williams had an illegal shift. I couldn't believe it. They had the first down.
I'm like, kidding me?
How do you blow that? How do you lose? And I thought Debo got the first down too. That was the funny part.
He did. He did get the first down.
They had like 5 chances to get 1 inch yard. You know what? I hate coward head coaches. I hate it. And Sean McVay actually falls into this. McVay's
kind of
fine,
does.
But yeah, when you punt in the kind of situations that San Francisco was punting in, Dallas was punting in, I don't know how you keep your job. I know people will bash John Harbaugh for the 2-point conversions or going for it on fourth down. I know people bash Brandon Staley for it on fourth down. But here's the thing. Like I said with the conversation we had earlier about like, oh, well, if a playoff team sucks, then just take out the playoff spot. If you are using that logic, you are misguided. The idea with the analytics community is you are more likely to win the game when you make good decisions, right? You are not always going to win the game when you make good decisions, but you are more likely to win the game when you make good decisions. Let me give you example of good decisions. Let me give you examples of good decisions. Starting Matthew Stafford over Jared Goff. That is a good decision. That is an objectively good decision by the Rams. Will they win the Super Bowl this year? I don't know. They might not. But if they lose,
no, you should say no because you want Josh Allen to win the Super Bowl.
You're right. If they win the Super Bowl, let's say Josh Allen gets shot tomorrow, and the Bills just end the season. If the Rams win the Super Bowl, that is not evidence that Stafford is better than Goff. That I'm not arguing that. It is a good result. If the Rams lose on Sunday, that does not mean Goff is better than Stafford. It doesn't work, but it doesn't work either way. The idea is the process is the important part. The team building process of the Rams, if they win a Super Bowl or don't, that's not the point. It doesn't matter for Les Snead if they win a Super Bowl or don't win a Super Bowl.
This year especially doesn't matter. I've talked about
okay, obviously winning a Super Bowl, not winning a Super Bowl matters, but to me, that does not make his decisions right or wrong. It just means it worked or didn't work. And that's the odds you play. He is improving the odds that the Rams win a Super Bowl. Will they win a Super Bowl? I don't know.
Hopefully.
Like drafting Patrick Mahomes and inking him to a 12-year contract. In theory, you should win Super Bowls. Will they? I don't know. They could win 4. They could win 0. They could win 12 for all that I know. Or I guess 11 at this point. So I think you have to look at it and say the process is more important than the final result. And I think this matters the most with coaching decisions, fourth downs, 2-point conversions, stuff like that. That, of course, if you only judge the mistakes or you only judge the successes, you're going to have a wildly different view. Did you vote for John Harbaugh in 2019 for Coach of the Year? Probably 14-2 Ravens. Oh, what were they doing every week? Just about every week. Oh, 4th and 1, 8 for 8. They went 8 for 8 on 4th and 1s, and they failed twice in the playoffs. Were you bashing Harbaugh after going for it on 4th and 1 in the playoffs? Probably. Were you bashing him for going in for it on 4th and 1 during the regular season? Nope, you weren't. Why? Because they made it. And if you are so one-sided and like if you can't grasp that here I'm going to make a very easy argument. Matthew Stafford has an open receiver. His name is Cooper Kupp. Is it a good idea to throw to Cooper Kupp?
Absolutely.
Okay, what if Cooper Kupp drops the pass? Does that make it a bad decision?
Nope.
Thank you. There we go. I rest my case. My case. Is success? Okay, I'll give you one more question.
Okay.
Let's say you have Jared Goff as your quarterback. You've never had that before, right?
Pretend that was alcohol.
Jared Goff is your quarterback.
Yes.
He throws a 50-yard pass to a guy that is covered by 17 players. The penalty doesn't matter. You throw a pass to a receiver covered by 17 humans. Is that a bad decision?
Yeah.
What if the receiver happens to catch the football?
Still a bad decision.
Agree.
It's just football.
Or DeAndre Hopkins and Kyler Murray.
Yeah, you could.
So I rest my case that the decision overrules the result. Because look, Tom Brady is not going to win. Did not win every Super Bowl. He's still the greatest player to ever live.
Yeah. I'm not going to.
No, but is he the greatest? Sure.
Yeah, I'm not going to bash a coach for like.
No, there are bad decisions. Like there are objectively bad decisions.
Yeah, every coach
for it
in
on
the
4th and 10,
terrible decisions.
Like not all 4th.
The Giants QB sneak on 3rd down and 9 in their own territory.
That is why Joe Judge does not have a job. I think that is a direct 1-to-1. But in all sincerity, the result should not be it. Colton mentioned this on the last show, the Play Action Pod, that he said that John Harbaugh threw the season. Okay, let me walk me through this. What if Justin Tucker misses the extra point? Would you say Harbaugh blew the season if he misses the extra point against Green Bay and Pittsburgh?
No.
Okay,
it's not Harbaugh's fault.
Yeah, it's not Harbaugh's fault Tucker misses. It's not Harbaugh's fault that his team didn't execute, really. I think it. So you have but what if they won those games? What if they essentially a 50-50 play? I'll say a 50-50 play because one was with Huntley and one's against freaking TJ Watt. A 50-50 play. In reality, the Ravens have a much higher conversion rate on those 4th and 2s, 2-point conversions from the 2. If they convert both of those and they go 10-7 and they get whacked by someone in the playoffs, is Harbaugh Jesus? No, he's just making objectively correct decisions, especially the one against Pittsburgh, because of all the underlying factors with the Ravens had no healthy corners. I feel like we've talked about this about 10 times now, but
yeah, we have.
It just frustrates me to no end when like coaches get thrown under the bus for that. And even if you're not the biggest analytics guy, can you at least see the process, particularly with the Pittsburgh game, or actually both of them, there are very strong arguments to go for it, even before you factor in who the win probability, right? Going the Pittsburgh game, you're on the road, and there's 12 seconds left in the half, and you have one healthy cornerback. The Steelers have just walked down the field. All of the circumstantial evidence points in Pittsburgh is going to win the game in overtime. All of it. The only thing going in Baltimore's direction is Justin Tucker, and a lot of that's canceled out because Chris Boswell is really freaking good. So, the Ravens have the greatest kicker ever. I don't disagree with you. It's just that the difference between Tucker and Boswell is not ridiculous. Like Boswell makes like 90% of his kicks anyways. Tucker makes 91%. Oh, that's a huge difference. No, it's not. And then you look at the Packers game. Do you know who the quarterback is for the Green Bay Packers?
Aaron Rodgers.
Okay. How many MVPs does he have?
I actually don't know the answer to that.
It's 3, about to be 4. Who generally is the most clutch quarterback in the NFL?
I'd say Aaron Rodgers.
Who has, it's a meme at this point with Cowboy fans and Niner fans. Who is the one player you don't want to give the ball in overtime?
There's a couple different answers, but Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. So the Ravens, if they go for it, they have I'm going to say a 50-50 shot of stopping Aaron Rodgers. I don't think the Packers had any timeouts. So you have a 50-50 shot of winning the game there. Guess what? You would have had a 50-50 shot in overtime. And you take your chances there, and maybe Crosby misses a field goal because he had missed a bunch earlier in the season. Maybe something fluky happens and you win the game. Okay. Because guess what? If you want the fluky stuff and you think, oh, the Ravens just should have gone to overtime. They lost to the Steelers in overtime. They lost to the Raiders in overtime. And they darn near lost the Vikings in overtime off of a fluky interception. So Shanahan was soft on Sunday. McCarthy was soft on Sunday. And I think McCarthy probably shouldn't have a job. That's just a business decision. Like, you should probably try to keep Kellen Moore over Mike McCarthy. But Kyle Shanahan is a meltdown waiting to happen.
I hope it happens soon.
Uh-huh.
I will say this, because people are looking at the Rams and the Niners rivalry the way it is now, and the players he has, and it's pretty tough for the Rams to kind of find an answer to that team right now. But when you take his weapons away, you saw what the Rams did to the Niners in 2018. They destroyed them. It wasn't even close. They mopped the floor with them both times.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of tells you, if the Niners don't have Deebo Samuel, the Niners don't have Kyle Juszczyk, the Niners don't have even Jimmy Garoppolo, they don't have Nick Bosa, or you can take away some or all of those players that they have. That's your real test of Kyle Shanahan.
Mm-hmm.
And there will inevitably come a time when all of those players are not really contributing to that team's success anymore. And you have to kind of look at Kyle Shanahan, can he find... That's, I think, a key thing that designates the really good coaches from the bad ones.
Mm-hmm.
They can find a way to win games. And Shanahan actually did this a little bit last year, too. He was winning
They
some
did beat
games.
the Rams twice.
Yeah. Well, I'm not even talking about those games. I'm talking about there were like, I think it was against, I want to say Tennessee. I could be wrong, but there was, I think, a
They didn't
Thursday
play
game.
Tennessee last year. Or this year with Tennessee?
No. I don't know why I
Last year.
thought. Yeah, I know they played Tennessee this year on Thursday. There was a Thursday game last year, though, they won that they should not have won. Or there were multiple games, honestly. Like, they were beat up to hell and back, and they still found
smells
ways
like
to win
the
games.
Rams.
Probably one of the
by
Rams
Green Bay.
games. I don't know. They were pretty loaded when we played them, and I don't really remember them missing too many players when we beat them or when we played them.
It happens. Either way, one thing to note with the Niners moving forward, Garoppolo is hurt, Fred Warner is hurt, and Nick Bosa may not play on Sunday.
I think Fred Warner's good to go. I think Fred Warner said he was playing. Or he was going to try to play, but I don't know.
And as we all remember, the 49ers players are better at their job, are better at doctor jobs than doctors. Word to Raheem Mostert. So, yeah, there's that. Also, if you're interested in a mock draft, my Splashes mock 1.0 Broncos trade up Thibodeau or Hutchinson. How many quarterbacks go round one? That is live now at 5:30 Mountain, 7:30 Eastern. So if you're interested in that, tune in after you finish watching the Sports Desk with Jack and I. So, gun to your head, what 4 teams are going to the conference championship games?
Give me Rams Packers in the NFC title game.
Ooh, Rams.
I want that rematch. That was a divisional rematch of last year. I feel like we could have that. There was actually a real chance that they could win that game.
How's it going, Coach?
Good to see Kevin Stefanski in here.
Yeah. I believe
AFC.
Kevin Stefanski is on the app as well, at Kevin Stefanski.
That's cool.
He made a take that the Browns would win the division. I disagreed with it and got some points.
AFC, give me Chiefs. Give me, I don't know why I'm forgetting the other game. I just had the bracket up too. Hold on.
Bengals Titans.
Give me Chiefs Titans.
Okay. Ooh, that's a fun one. I'm going to disagree with you.
The Bengals are a good,
Bengals
are a
and
really
Bills.
strong team.
Man, I
actually think I predicted the Bengals earlier. Yeah, give me Bengals Chiefs.
Okay. I really would like the Niners to win in Green Bay. Just I like
part of me, I'm conflicted on that result.
Like obviously you hate the Niners and you don't want to face the Niners.
I don't want to face the Niners, but at the same time I want to like get revenge on them in the NFC Championship game. Like
that'd be pretty spicy.
The perfect stage to do it.
Stefanski's going for Rodgers. So I hate this year is like I really hate the playoffs because I kind of like have a reason to dislike all 8 teams. Like I hate like if I had to pick the 4 AFC teams I hate the most, it's Bengals, Titans, Chiefs, Bills. Patriots can be argued. Steelers are up there too, but the Steelers aren't a threat to win the Super Bowl. So like I would be fine if they were there because I know they would lose.
Do you hate us just for being a super team? Is that it?
Oh no, I guess I don't hate the Rams, but I mean the Packers, Bucks. Like I don't have any like. If I had to choose an NFC team, I would not choose one of those 4. I would rather. Like I would rather the Falcons or the Giants or the Bears or the Vikings.
I kind of miss when the Falcons.
Like I'd be down for like the Lions going to the Super Bowl.
That'd be cool.
Like I'd rather see that.
I mean, I'd be upset because we traded Stafford for Goff, and then they go on to win us.
Yeah,
we have to win this year first, and then we'll talk about the Lions.
Okay. Stefanski's getting rid of Baker. I don't think that happens, but okay, make a take on the app. Use some of your points.
I'm sure that would be a fun take. That'll blow up. I could throw that in the newsletter.
Yeah.
So
we appreciate it. I think you're pretty good at your job too. Just a little bit of a rough year. Baker was hurt with the rotator. Is it labrum? That's what it was. Labrum. Offensive line was banged up a little bit with Conklin. Wills.
They actually just published an update on that today. They said that he's going to be out for 6 months, and then he'll be training. He should be there. He should be ready in April, I think, on like a limited availability. I think is what they said. I don't remember entirely, but
that's only 3 months to be fair.
Yeah, it's not terribly long.
It's almost draft season. It's wild.
It is. It's ridiculous. We're gonna have another draft special. I'm gonna hop in having no idea what the hell I'm saying, but
Although the Rams don't have a first-round pick for what
we
seems like
don't,
the 50th year in a row.
Yeah.
Well, I think we should have one on Friday and Saturday for rounds 2, 3, and then day 3.
Yeah, that'd be fun to do a day 3 draft. I mean, it'd be all day long, but I mean, what else is there to do?
That's true, and we get to talk about a ton of random prospects because, like, we all kind of know. This is one of my favorite things with the draft is that there's like a ton of guys that like matter, and then a ton of guys that don't matter. I like talking about the guys that don't matter. I like talking about the random, like Cameron Cheeseman, the long snapper for Washington. Like, I like talking about guys like that. I like the all name team. I like guys with like dope stories. I like the Michael Straughns of the world. He was a Colts 7th rounder or maybe late.
ESPN finds a way to find like a sob story out of everybody.
This is true. We're not going to do that, but I do think I think Zach would be over the moon if we did a day 2 and day 3 stream.
He would enjoy the hell out of that. I would maybe hop in just for a little bit. I mean, I don't know too much about
the Rams actually have picks. They have a 5th and 2 7ths.
We have 3 picks this year. We're pulling a Seattle, as far as I know.
But at least Seattle had a 2nd and a 3rd.
Yeah, that's true. Well, the Rams are good in late round picks anyway, so
you have a 5th and 2 7ths.
I'm not worried. The draft is not this team's focus right now, clearly.
This is true. F them picks. Word to hold.
Happy birthday to Les Snead, by the way.
Yes. So I think, the draft is going to be a lot of fun. I might have to get out of my class because I have a class that runs from 7 to 8. Oh, frick. That'll be the class runs from 8 to 9:50 Eastern. Yeah, I'm going to have to talk to my professor about that one. Darn. I'm going to have to talk to both of my students. Darn it. Okay. Actually, we might be okay because the first one is, I think, 3 to 4:15. So I should be able to hop on. I think last year we started at 7. At the very least, that would be my only absence in those classes. That might be okay. Anyways, next on the docket there, Jack.
We've talked a lot about football, but believe it or not, there are other sports. I mean, you can see it on the top of our screen.
There's motorcycle racing outside.
Yeah, apparently so. I thought, yeah. So the NHL is currently about to be All-Star season, believe it or not. We've got the All-Star rosters that just got finished up. I don't know if these are accurate as of the
Go Dylan Larkin.
The last man in updates because they had the last man in vote recently.
Mm-hmm. Oh, your favorite player made it.
I don't see Troy Terry on there. So yeah, these are
also Victor Hedman.
I can find the last man results. Overall, what do you like about these rosters, though?
Go Dylan Larkin. Also, my boy Kaprizov, McKinnon, McGoatvid, Draisaitl. Yeah, my boy Johnny Gaudreau. I have a card from a old SI Kids thing. Petrangelo, Mark Stone, Oven Chicken, Jack Hughes.
Okay, so for last man in, the Atlantic last man in is Steven Stamkos from the Lightning.
Oh wow!
I mean,
shocker.
Yeah, shocker that he wasn't even in the first place. But
wait, is this Rasmus Dahlin's first year? Or is it his second year?
It could be. I can't remember entirely. No, I think it's his first. I don't remember
because he was like the next like McDavid Eichel guy like 2 years ago.
Yeah, he was supposed to be up there. For the Central, it's Nazem Kadri from the Avalanche. That's well deserved.
Oh wow, it's actually his 4th year. Huh.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Oh, you meant in the league? Yeah. No, this is his 4th year in the league.
Okay. Yeah. 5th year. 4th year. Yeah, 4th.
For the Pacific, it was Troy Terry from the Ducks. I think the Ducks are like doing some fun stuff with their prospects this year. Did you see that play that Trevor Zegras had, where he like passed it over the net? Do you remember that?
Negative.
I might have to show that to you later, but that was ridiculous what he did. Wait, did he not make it? He didn't. Wow. That's a shock. So it's Troy Terry and John Gibson for the Ducks. I like Kempe on the Kings. I think that's fun. Mika Zibanejad was the winner of the vote, but for the Metro, for the last man in, but he's not going to play in the game because Jake. He is going to miss it for personal reasons. So Jake Gensel's going to play.
I believe this is the second All-Star game for Mr. Dylan Larkin.
Yeah, Dylan Larkin deserves it. Good for him.
I think he leads the NHL he's top 10 in even strength goals, game-winning goals. Had a hat trick earlier in the season.
I can't say crap about Timo Meier because he dropped 5 goals on us last time.
Oh. Wow. Matt, you're so bad at your job. You'll add 5 goals to one player in 2 periods, first time since the 93-94 season.
And it sucks too because Quick's been having a decent year, and then that game just brought him back down to. I mean, he has made some ridiculous saves this year. Don't get me wrong. He's still having a solid year. If there was another Kings player that I would add to this roster, I would say either Anze Kopitar, Philip Deneau, or Drew Doughty. Probably right. Philip Deneau because Deneau's been out of his mind this year. But I like Kempe too. Kempe, I think, has like 18 goals this year, 17 goals. He's going off. So
solid.
Overall, solid. I think who are the goalies? You got Jack Campbell for the Maple Leafs. That's good. These rosters are a lot smaller. So like what the NHL likes to do, they like to do 3-on-3 instead of 5-on-5, and they have like a little mini tournament. So like you have 2 10-minute periods. So just halves, I guess, per game. And the winning teams from those first 2 games move on to a final game. Winning team gets to split $1 million. What do you think of that format?
I like it. I think that it's something you can build on with other sports. The NBA, actually, the NBA could be fun if you did like a bunch of 3v3 games.
Yeah.
If you did like a
3-on-3 basketball is an Olympic sport now, so that could be.
Yeah, 3x3. Yes, sir, it is.
I enjoyed that.
Also,
that was fun.
I think it would be cool with the Pro Bowl if you did that. I know there's not enough of a roster to have like 4 teams per division. Even if you did like a North, East, South, and West, I think that would be pretty cool.
You could do divisional rosters in the Pro Bowl. You could do that.
Well, yeah, but like say, I don't know,
like a territorial.
Yeah, I think that would be a great idea that you get like, I don't know, like Aaron Rodgers throwing to Stefan Diggs and Jefferson and Adams, or you get like Eckler running behind Trent and the Kansas City middle 3, and like maybe Whitworth playing right tackle.
A healthy Russell Wilson throwing the Cooper Cup.
Yeah, healthy Russell Wilson throwing to Tyreek Hill.
Oh, jeez.
Keenan Allen.
That would be fun.
Mike Williams.
I think the main reason why they shifted to this format was because the 3-on-3 overtime was a huge success.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I like that a lot. I think that's something that other leagues should adopt. Like I think it'd be fun to have like a 3v3 tournament in the NBA. Like if you had a like instead of the normal like kind of BS thing they do, maybe if you had like an Atlantic, maybe 5-man or 5 players from the Atlantic. And yeah, you could go 5 players from each division, and maybe it's just spitballing. Maybe it's Embiid, Tatum, KD. You could even go 1 player from each team. Like if you did.
I think the NHL actually tried to do this. They sort of did one.
Was it McDavid that hated that idea? There was like one like superstar level player that hated it.
I think it was McDavid. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think
I'm not a fan of that either. Because these rosters would have been like if it was like 2-3 years ago, these rosters would have been a lot bigger. You would have had like 11 men per team.
Mm-hmm. Like I'm thinking, let's say if you did for the NBA, I can rattle through these. Like if you did Durant, Embiid, Tatum, Van Vliet, Randall, Garland, Giannis, Levine, or DeRozan. That would be fun. And you get like Kate Cunningham could be there, and Sabonis, Butler, Trey, Beal. 2 more dudes.
It would be fun.
LaMelo. That'd be a lot of fun. I like that idea a lot.
Yeah.
And then you get every team involved, and you get like you can split. Like that doesn't even have to be the main thing. You can just have like a 3v3 tournament as like an All-Star weekend, like a Saturday thing.
Of course, what everybody's also going to remember the first time they did that for was John Scott. I will never forget the John Scott All-Star. I remember, like, I look back on it now and I just love it, but I remember hating it when it first happened. I was like, what are we doing here?
For sure.
But yeah, looking back on it now, that was a fun moment. So that's the
absolutely.
All-Star rosters.
And wasn't he like All-Star Game MVP as well?
He was, but that was a fan thing. So
okay, he did score a couple times, right?
He scored twice in the first game. The All-Star game. Are they doing a skills competition? They should be. Let me look up they're doing a skills competition. I'm
excited to see how Lamar Jackson does in this year's
I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss it because it's February 5th is the actual All-Star game, and I'm gonna be watching. I'm gonna be at the NASCAR race that's in LA. So, or at least at the qualifying day.
Why did the NFL and NHL have their All-Star Pro Bowl events on the same weekend? That's weird.
They usually do. I remember watching the Pro Bowl and the All-Star game on the same day one year. So I guess that's weird. Just a coincidence. I could be wrong, but that's what I think. So that will be fun. Regardless, should we get into tier listing some stuff?
Yeah, let's go tier this.
Let's do it. Let me grab the logo really fast. Boom. This week we've got logos. Just logos. We could come back to this list later if we want to just randomly.
Also, the Cavs are going to beat the Bulls today. Go Cavs.
Yeah. So Cardinals logo. We'll just jump right in. What do you think?
I'm a little darker right now because I'm full screen so I can see things. Let me see if I can adjust my camera so I'm not like dead to the world. Boom, 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 boom. I hope that's better.
That's better to me. I can at least see.
There we go. That's much better. Okay.
Yeah.
Cardinals.
Right. Cardinals.
It's solid.
A tier, I think. I don't really see too much room for improvement. They probably could do better, but I don't hate it.
I'd probably go B tier. There's nothing that says like, yeah, A or B. I'm cool with that.
I'm cool. All right, we'll do A. Falcons. What's funny is that I had a friend who has been into football for quite a little bit, and he had no idea the Falcons logo was an F. It was funny when he first found out. He was like, "Wait, what?"
I do prefer their throwbacks, like the black ones.
I think a lot of people do, but they're modern.
I could go B because I think they have better logos. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm fair with B. What do you think of your Ravens?
I think the Ravens have a very nice logo. It's one of the better ones. It looks horrendous on Super Bowl rings, but this is like an A tier for me.
Yeah, this has always been solid. I've never really had any issues. Honestly, a lot of these logos I've never really had too many issues with. Like you'll see the Bills are next. I like that red stripe that they have going for them.
I think it's nice. There's some motion. I like it a lot. I'd go A tier.
Yeah. Panthers.
I think it's a good logo.
Yeah.
A or B.
A. We'll go A. The Da Bears. This is
Da Bears.
This is one of those classic logos that it's like it's plain, but it's like at this point they've used it for so freaking long that like I guess B tier would be fair.
I think B tier is fine. Because I think you always are going to run into issues with like just ones that are the letter, like the Bengals next, Packers, Giants, the Redacteds, Titans.
Yeah.
Nah. I think the Bengals one is cool. I have one. This I think is superior.
I can agree with that. I could go B tier with the Bengals. I've never had too much of an issue with it.
B is in Bungles.
Yeah. The Browns get a D.
Helmets.
They get a D, unfortunately. They have much better alternate logos, but this is just a helmet. I'm not sure where you want to put this, but I'd go D.
I'd go C, probably.
Tough call. It could go anywhere. I think it's D just because though it's like the branding sucks. Like, what do they name it after a coach? But
this is
the Browns, like, it's not great.
Canceled.
And then your logo's just a helmet. So,
yeah. Dallas, I give you 1 star.
It's not a logo, it's a rating.
But
So,
it's just timeless. It's A tier.
you think it's A tier? I think it's B tier. But
Okay. Yeah, I could go A or B. It's fine.
we'll go A. We'll be nice to the Cowboys, even though they lost. The Denver Broncos.
I think very nice. I do like their throwbacks, but I do like this logo. I think it's
like
solid.
this
I
logo.
go A tier.
This goes down. This is like down the vein of like the Nashville Predators for me. Like they used like that throwback logo. I think is a little bit more complex, but then they introduced something that's a lot more simplified, but still has like that motion type thing going for it. So I think A tier is good. The Lions.
It's all right. B or C.
I'll go B.
Like it's a little complex. Like if you're a Lions fan trying to draw that, like
but it's better than what it replaced. I think what it replaced is like not good. It had a lot less details, and it's like
the Barry Sanders era.
Yeah, and like the black that it had was a little bit strange, but
I think Packers has to be S tier.
Packers has to be S tier. I mean, we just gave the same crap to like Dallas, but like something about Green Bay, just the nostalgia factor of it. It's like really, really, really good. Texans, what do you think?
I think it's good. It's all right. It's like if you think like an average NFL logo, I think you're gonna get that one. So I'd say B tier.
We'll go B tier. The Clots.
The Clots. It's very simple.
Yeah.
It is the same one that I have on my wall. Actually, most of them are. I mean, other than the redacteds, the Rams and Raiders are helmets, not their normal logo. Same with the Giants and Eagles.
And the Jets, I think, too.
Yes.
I saw the Jets from your TikTok earlier. Colts gets, I think a B tier is fair for them.
Yeah, Colts are fine.
Nothing terrible about it. Probably could be better. The Jags
I prefer the old Jags. I do prefer the old Jags. I would go C tier. C is in Calais Campbell.
Kansas City.
Very nice logo.
Clean.
Very polished, very clean. I might even go S tier for the Chiefs.
You might go S tier on the Chiefs. Okay. The only thing that irks me about this logo is when like you put it backwards on their helmets and like the KC is facing the other direction. I think that's like the one thing keeping it from an A tier or me from putting it in an S tier, but I think A tier is perfectly fine for the Chiefs.
Okay. Actually, one of these episodes we should do inverted logos.
Oh boy. Just helmet designs in general.
Yeah, it's like facing the other way. Because like some of them, like it's like Packers, you're not going to invert the G, but like Ravens, Cardinals,
Broncos,
Panthers, Lions, Jags, Falcons,
Chargers, even Patriots,
Eagles, Seahawks.
The Eagles use wings on their helmets. I don't think they have their logo.
That's true. Bucks. Can you like? I think you can. Yeah.
Yeah, the Bucks have an inverted one.
You can like flip it back and forth. Titans, you can do as well.
Yeah.
I think the Chargers have a very spiffy logo.
See, if it doesn't remind me of a broken toenail all the time, I would agree.
Or Dean Spanos' hair.
Dean Spanos. That being said, I kind of like this better than the alternative because apparently there's like a horse logo that they have still. They're using that.
Oh yeah.
That one's been weird to me.
When they were the original Los Angeles Los Angeles Chargers.
The 1960 AFL Chargers. I think
it's solid. It's like B tier.
Yeah. Rams. This logo is
Angelo State.
Yeah. I like it better without gradients. I don't hate the gradients, but I like it better without. But that I do respect that they tried something different.
I would go B or C.
I think B is probably where I'm fair putting it. It's definitely not an A tier, but I do like that they tried to stay true to what the fans wanted, which was the horns.
Lame.
Yeah.
But actually, both the Chargers and Rams had awful LA original designs, but that's beside the point. The Raiders, timeless classic.
What was the OG LA Rams design?
It was
like
there was one that was memed into like lame. Because I know the Chargers had one that was lame, and then there was the Rams had like a original. Oh, what about the ram head? I didn't like the ram head.
No, I don't like the ram head. Too complex.
Yeah, I think that's to me.
The
If
current one's better.
If like an 8-year-old can't draw your logo, I think you have an issue. Hashtag Detroit.
Yeah, I could draw the Kings logo, like the crown logo, as like a 6-year-old. So
okay, Raiders A. Or I'm sorry, S. Timeless.
Raiders
Classic.
get an S tier. This is timeless.
Ah, Raiders.
You know who else gets an S tier? Is the Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Dolphins are S tier worthy only because though.
Yeah, I'd probably go A.
You'd go A.
Yeah.
You know what? Well, I think it'll be A. If it had like the really like the OG aqua blue, then you could go S. But I do like that they darken the orange. That's closer to the throwback colors. But the logo's solid. I have no complaints.
I'm gonna say Vikings are S tier as well.
Yeah, I really like the Vikings.
I think if I remember correctly, it was either a name bracket or a logo bracket, and the Ravens and Vikings were the final two.
There's just something about I did a series like forever ago where I was like fixing a bunch of NFL logos, and I wanted to try to fix this one, but I just can't. Like this one's really good.
Very clean.
Very clean. Same with the Patriots, honestly.
Patriots A tier.
A tier. Are we taking them out of the S tier only because of how much we hate them?
Oh, I'm fine with S tier. I'd immediately jump to A tier, but I think very nice.
This one's timeless, honestly. Although probably a lot of people would put the Pat Patriot logo S tier as well. But this one's clean.
I like the fleur-de-lis.
The fleur-de-lis is not bad. It just screams Quebec to me, but that's because I'm a hockey fan too. But this is not a bad look. I'm just too used to it. I think B tier.
Yeah, B is fine.
Giants, what are we thinking?
I like the lowercase script.
Mm-hmm.
I usually like the uppercase script, KC, SF, T, Bs. But I do like the lowercase script with the New York. I'd probably go A tier.
Yeah, I think A tier is fine. I was thinking about this one earlier. I can't really imagine the Giants with anything else. And I think that it's unique too, like the lowercase script.
Because they used to spell out Giants, and that was all caps. It's like cool, but I prefer the lowercase NY. Jets, this is a C or a D.
Yeah. It's better. I will say I think it's better than what they used to have, but it's too simple. And if it's called the Jets, like where's the jet? Shouldn't have like a plane imagery.
Yeah, I agree. Or it's the only team that has like a word.
A football. Or like a full, like 3 full on, or the Raiders too, I guess. But like the Jets.
Yeah, the Raiders you can like with or without you recognize as the Raiders.
Yeah,
like you can just recognize it as a skull. But yeah, the Jets. I think it's I kind of use the same rule with flags that. If you have to put words on your flag, it's a bad flag. If you have to put words on your logo, it's a bad logo. Like it's one thing to have a letter like the B Bengals, B Ravens, F Falcons, C Bears, NY, KC, SF,
LA.
T, LA, W, XYZ.
We can get. By the way, we can give Washington a pass because again, new logo coming soon.
They're fine. It's better than the Jets. Speaking of better than the Jets, the Eagles, who have never lost to the Jets. S tier logo.
I have always loved how the Eagles are the one team that's facing to the left. You notice all of these logos are all facing to the right, and then the Eagles are like, nope, we're different.
Yep.
So
Steelers A, maybe S.
A.
S or A. You can make the final decision.
I'm gonna go A for the Steelers, but I don't hate it. Seahawks get an S tier for me, honestly, too. I love the Seahawks logo. 49ers.
I would go A. I think it's a classic.
Yeah, I think it's the logos
colors
that are like
work really well together.
Too old. It's like you can't really imagine them with anything else.
Yeah. I really like the Bucks. I think it's really polished. I think it's like simple but like complex at the same time. So it does kind of break my rule of can a 6-year-old draw it, but I think it's a good break of the rule, unlike the Browns or unlike the Lions.
That's fair.
I'd probably go A tier.
We'll go A tier. Tennessee. I've said before that the Titans should have just the sword as their new logo, considering they went like all in on like the whole like sword stuff for their jerseys, like when they rebranded recently, or not rebranded, but they got redesigned uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was just so much stored imagery on them. I was like, why not just make it store the logo? But
I think it's an A tier. I think it's a good logo.
Yeah, this isn't. I don't really have too many bad things to say about it. I just think it should be replaced. And then Washington gets a pass, so
Yeah.
we could just slap it in D tier.
No, it's better than the Browns. It's better than
that's true.
it's better than the Jets too. I would put it in B tier.
Fine, B tier will be nice.
Yeah.
There you go.
Like when they have the Capitals do this, like when they have like the dome of the Capitol building.
Yes,
inside
the negative space. That was
beautiful.
so good. When teams do stuff inside of negative space, I love
Hartford Whalers, baby.
Actually, their current incarnation, the Hurricanes, did that too with their alternate logo. They have like the shape of the state of North Carolina hidden in there.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, I can show you that later. But there you go.
Absolutely.
That is our tier list for NFL logos.
I think that's
Let us know what you guys think.
Yeah. I should chop the show up and get that at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Love to see it.
A lot of good.
Any last words before we wrap it up as we 8 o'clock hour?
Stay tuned for all the Madden stuff. That's going to be really fun during the off season to mess around with Madden, have some fun with it, do some what if moments, do some the tournament that we're going to plan on doing. And other than that,
I'm vibing.
He's going TikTok style.
How's it going, guys? It's your boy Splash. Welcome, dear. Welcome back to the NFL draft. All right. Aaron Donald trains with knives, ladies and gentlemen.
Like the stream. Ring the bell. The Le'Veon bell.
Ring-a-ding-ding that Le'Veon bell. Ring-a-ding-ding that Le'Veon bell.
And we will see you next Wednesday. Aaron Donald trains with knives.